Howdy everyone, this is your buddy BP, and I'm here today to review one of my favorite exotic weapons in Destiny, the Fourth Horseman. The Fourth Horseman is an exotic arc damage shotgun that was introduced in the Dark Below expansion pack back in December of 2014. A quick glance at the Horseman's stats suggests a weapon that's radically different from the long-range, high-impact variety of shotguns often used in Destiny, such as, say, this Conspiracy Theory D here. The conspiracy theory clearly has the Horseman beat in both range and impact, but where the Horseman lacks in these areas, it completely dominates in both fire rate and stability. What makes the Horseman really special, however, is this exotic perk, Thunderer, which allows the weapon to be fired in full auto mode. Now I can already hear you saying, but Bob, there are plenty of non-exotic full auto shotguns in Destiny. Why should I choose the Fourth Horseman over them? Well, I'll tell you why. You see, those other full auto shotguns? They fire fast. But the Fourth Horseman? It fires super fast. Need an example? Here's the Dry Rot 32 shotgun with full auto. This Year 1 shotgun's base stats are similar to the Horseman in addition to having full auto, but watch what happens when we fire the two weapons side by side. Are you watching? Don't blink. Otherwise you might miss it, okay? Did you see that? The Fourth Horseman fired all 5 of his shots almost instantaneously. Compared to the Horseman, the Dry Rot is slower than your old ass Cradle modem, and that's about as fast as legendary shotguns can fire in Destiny. This unusually fast fire rate allows the Horseman to output an outrageous amount of damage in one quick sudden burst to whatever happens to be right in front of you. This means that the Horseman can instantly destroy anyone within arm's reach of you except for the toughest of Tier 2 enemies, and when it doesn't kill in the first burst, it often finishes off in the second. In PvE, you will fear no Tier 2 enemy with this thing by your side. Even level 41 enemies don't stand a chance against its mighty blast. It's almost rather comical how quickly the Horseman can reduce enemies that once terrorized you before into dust at the mere pull of the trigger. Remember those Minotaurs that like teleporting in your face? Well, the joke's on them because you have the Fourth Horseman and they are now, at best, a minor inconvenience. Even against end bosses, the Horseman is capable of unleashing tremendous amounts of damage. Granted, of course, you can get close enough to them to use it at its effective range. Against large ultras with lethal melee moves such as Fogoth or Ballista Auric, you may want to consider something you can use at a safer distance, such as the new exotic fusion rifle Telesto. But against ultras like Saber 2, the Scion Flares, or Omnighoul, the Fourth Horseman is a boss breaker. In PvP, the Horseman is fun, but mostly impractical. The Horseman's potential for short-range damage means that you are almost guaranteed to win just about any close-quarter engagement, granted your aim is true and you have the ammo to spare. Is a striker rushing at you with shoulder charge? Not today. Some fool coming at you with a heavy sword? You should have opted for a rocket launcher instead. The Horseman can even instantly put down an arc blade. How dope is that? However, all this power comes at a price. Ammo. Lots and lots and lots of ammo. The Horseman may deal damage like a Gjallarhorn, but it goes through ammo like a pocket infinity. Unleashing the beast all over your fellow Guardians may be fun, but it often results in you having to scour the map for special ammo to replace all the shots you used in order to unleash said beast. Back when the Horseman was first introduced, this wasn't too much of a problem given the Crucible's proliferation of ammo. But patch 1.1.2 changed this by reducing the amount of special ammo available in PvP, and a special ammo crate will only net you about 7 shots. This means that if you want to run the Horseman in the Crucible, then it's best for you to familiarize yourself where all the ammo drops are in the map, and to make sure that you only use your Horseman when needed. In larger maps, with lots of wide open areas or new maps you aren't too familiar with yet, you may want to opt for something else, but in small to medium sized map, the Horseman is viable as a secondary weapon granted you're diligent with keeping your special ammo stocked and you're not too generous with your shots. One PvP game mode the Fourth Horseman does excel in, however, is Mayhem. In Mayhem, special ammo drops frequently, and since players' abilities also cool down much faster, your opponents are more prone to playing aggressively and in your face, which is where this weapon shines. You can expect to encounter far more Sunbreakers and Stormcallers here than in other game modes, but regardless of which you encounter, you can rest easy knowing your shotgun can put them down in an instant. Granted, you can get close enough to them to make it work. You may even find yourself chasing after Arcbladers just so you can have the pleasure of getting to put them down. Let's take a closer look at the Fourth Horseman. First off, let's talk about the aesthetics. Visually, the Fourth Horseman is beautifully distinctive. People are going to notice when you're wielding this beast. Its 4 massive barrels are set together in a diamond formation, giving the shotgun the appearance of a blunderbuss. Its wood-finished body has a smooth, ergonomic design, fitted with ornate metal panels, giving the weapon the look that suggests something more old-world rather than the more sci-fi inspired designs of other weapons in Destiny. When aiming down the sights, you'll notice that the Horseman is fitted with a set of circular iron sights that look like something from an old World War I weapon. On any other weapon, these sights would seem large and intrusive, but given that the Horseman is a weapon that doesn't really require being fine-aimed in order to be used properly, the sights are pretty much never a problem. If anything, they only further contribute to its classic design. As far as the Horseman's perks go, you're going to find yourself falling in either one or two categories: range or stability. Its first set of perks include CQB ballistics, accurized ballistics, and field choke. Its second set of perks include fitted stock for stability, hand loaded for range, and speed load for, well, reload speed. For most people, the first choice would be to spec the Horseman for range, but note that if you do opt for either accurized ballistics or field choke to accomplish this, it will be at the expense of stability, which you will need to control the Horseman's mighty kick. It's doable with a little bit of practice, but I prefer keeping with CQB ballistics as I find what the Horseman lacks in range, it makes up for in the sheer volume of damage it outputs. As far as the second set of perks is concerned, for me, it's no contest. Speed reload is the way to go. In addition to its poor range, the Fourth Horseman has one of the slowest reload speeds of any shotgun in its class. Speed reload will up the Horseman's reload speed from about 6 seconds to 4, taking it from abysmal to poor. Note that there is a bug associated with the Horseman that prevents armor pieces that grant additional reload speed to shotguns from impacting it, so you can forget about getting any help from Shotgun Loader. Hopefully, Bungie will address this in future patches. Subclass abilities that aid with reload speed, such as Chain of Woe or War Machine, do help with reloading the Horseman, so if you plan on using it a lot, then you may want to spec your class around it. As for fitted stock and hand loaded, I'd say skip them. Maximizing your Horseman's range is rarely noticeable, and since you'll be doing it at the expense of stability and reload speed, I really can't recommend you doing so. The Horseman's next two perks are Final Round, which allows the final shot to deal an extra 33% damage, and Return to Sender, which has about a 33% chance to return a shot to the chamber after a kill. Final Round is great on a weapon like this because that means that in the case of the event that a full 5-shot burst didn't kill whatever tier 2 enemy you're encountering, you can just hold down the trigger while reloading and continuously fire off beefed up shot shells at your target, often staggering them in the process. Return to Sender is good for situations where you're using the Horseman to concentrate on waves of small tier 1 adds, but this requires a disciplined trigger finger to make work, and using the Horseman this way doesn't exactly play to the weapon's strength, which is tackling tier 2 enemies, and here you will rarely see this perk play much of an advantage. Let's summarize everything we just discussed. The Fourth Horseman is capable of dealing an incredible amount of damage almost instantaneously to whatever is right in front of you, allowing you to make short work of both tier 2 enemies and other guardians alike. Coupled with this and its striking visual aesthetics, this weapon is one you will have a ton of fun with while looking stylish while doing so. If you manage to bag yourself one of these beauties, make sure to take it for a spin in Mayhem, where frequent ammo drops will turn you into a Stormcaller stomping terror. Do note, however, that the weapon's extremely low range relegates it to use in only the closest of close quarter situations. You'll also find yourself quickly burning through most of your special ammo. With both this and its slow reload speed taken into account, the Fourth Horseman is best used sparingly. And that just about does it for my review of the Fourth Horseman. If you found the video helpful or informative in any way, then spank that like button. Also leave a comment in the comments section with your opinions on the Fourth Horseman. Do you like it as much as I do? Do you think I was being too generous? Let me know. I love hearing back from you. And as always, y'all be good to each other, and I will see you in the next video.